It is important to understand the complete spectrum of food loss and food waste. Therefore, we need to know clearly food loss, food waste, conventional edible parts, conventional inedible parts, upstream processing, and downstream processing. I mentioned here conventional inedible part since conventionally it is considered inedible but could be transformed to be edible, for example skins and seeds. I am going to explain all this clearly with examples. Food waste is not as simple as we think. As soon as we waste any food, there are many consequences in relation to alleviating hunger, spending money, energy, and water, and consequences of environmental damage. In addition, there is a loss of humanity, that is kind feelings about foods, hunger, diseases, and environment. We may think wasting is a normal behavior. Is it true? In this video, I am just explaining basic understanding of food loss and waste. In other upcoming videos, I will present different dimensions and issues of food loss and waste. Currently, 30 to 40% of foods we produce are in loss or waste. The loss and waste 30 to 40%, as I mentioned earlier, include only the conventional edible parts. If we add the conventional inedible part, then it is much more as we think. We could also consider conventionally inedible parts, for example skins, seeds, and shells. Then the food loss and waste are much more. We could feed nearly 1/3 of the world population if we could avoid food loss and waste. In addition, we could reduce wastage of resources, environmental damage, and we could secure economic gain. Food loss and waste is equivalent to 1.3 billion tons of food, and it is costing about $1 trillion. Globally, this accounts for 1.4 billion hectares of wasted land. That's a land area larger than Canada and India together. This loss also includes 45 trillion gallons of water, and this represents 24% of all water used for agriculture. The energy spent on storing and cooking for the wasted foods is about $30 billion only in the USA. In addition, there is also packaging waste and its environmental consequences. Therefore, the overall scenario is huge. We can see tomatoes in the plant, and it should be harvested at its right maturity and then need to be washed and cleaned. For any reason, if we are unable to bring these tomatoes to the dining table as ready to consume or ready to eat, then it is considered as food loss. Food loss often occurs at the growing, harvesting, post-harvesting, and processing stages of food production chain. Reasons for this food loss can include poor crop harvesting, animal deaths, spoilage, transportation issues, packaging, distribution, and insufficient storage. Ripe tomato ready to eat but damaged or spoiled during transport or storage or selling point at the supermarkets. This is food waste. Therefore, food waste happens when ready to consume or ready to eat foods are not consumed, while food waste occurs after the end of food production, that is when foods are ready to eat, that is mainly at the selling point and consumer level. Food waste is more serious than food loss since all resources and efforts are used to bring the food to the dining table. More examples. Foods on these plates are ready to eat and it would be wasted if these were not consumed totally for any reason. If we eat excess, that is overeat, that's also another form of waste. If leftovers are thrown, that's also another form of food waste. We have many shelf-stable foods in the kitchen cupboard. If these are not consumed since use-by date is over, then it is also a waste. What I have mentioned in this video is only a few forms of food waste. The real spectrum is much wider. In the supermarket, we could find the relatively whitish part of the cabbage, that is the less green middle part. This is conventional edible part and the outer leaves are lost. What's wrong with the exterior leaves? Only the issue of rough texture and different flavor or taste. Food technologists can play a major role in bringing it into edible form. Food loss could be edible and inedible parts. Conventional inedible parts could be skin, seeds, shell, bone, feather, viscera, offal, seafood shell, and fish scales. In the supermarket, we could see only floral broccoli. What's wrong with the leaves, stem, and root? These parts are commonly considered as conventional inedible parts. The fish processing industry has lots of conventional inedible parts. For example, fish scale, fish skin, fish head, fish bone, and fish viscera. Although many countries and cultures consume offal, however, we could bring all in edible form. Tamarind is grown in shell with seeds. Flesh is only the conventional edible parts. It is a waste if flesh is not consumed. The shell and the seeds are the conventional inedible parts. These are lost if we are unable to transform these into edible form or other value-added products in the bioeconomy. Upstream refers to the handling and processing of foods until it is ready to consume or ready to eat, while downstream refers to the stages when foods are ready to consume or ready to eat. It is important to know in which stages loss or waste are concerned and how we need to take actions to reduce loss and waste and enhance valorization. In the next video, I will explain how foods are lost and wasted during each stage of food production, processing, distribution, selling point, food preparation, and consumption. Thank you for watching this video until the end.